صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Chapter on Virtues of the Followers of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Narrated Anas, may Allah be pleased with him. Once, two men from the companions of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, went out of the house of the Prophet, peace be upon him, on a very dark night. They were accompanied by two things that resembled two lamps lighting the way in front of them. And when they parted, each of them was accompanied by one of those two things, lamps, till they reached their homes. Narrated Al-Mughira bin Shu'bah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Some people from my followers will remain victorious and on the right path till Allah's order, the last day comes, and they will still be victorious." Narrated Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, I heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, saying, "A group of people amongst my followers will remain obedient to Allah's orders, that is, following strictly the Qur'an and the Prophet's Sunnah, and they will not be harmed by anyone who will desert them, and also who will oppose them, till Allah's order, the last day, comes upon them while they are still on the right path." Narrated Urwa that the Prophet, peace be upon him, gave him 1 dinar, so as to buy a sheep for him. Urwa bought 2 sheep for him with the money. Then he sold one of the sheep for 1 dinar and brought 1 dinar and a sheep to the Prophet, peace be upon him. On that, the Prophet, peace be upon him, invoked Allah to bless him in his deals. So, Urwa used to gain from any deal, even if he bought dust. In another narration, Urwa said, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, saying, "There's always goodness in the forelocks of horses meant for jihad till the day of resurrection." The sub-narrator added, I saw 70 horses in Urwa's house. Sufyan said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked Urwa to buy a sheep for him as a sacrifice. Narrated Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "There is always goodness in the forelocks of horses, meant for jihad in Allah's cause till the day of resurrection." Narrated Anas, may Allah be pleased with him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "There is always goodness in the forelocks of horses, meant for jihad in Allah's cause." Narrated Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "A horse may be kept for one of 3 purposes. For a man, it may be a source of reward. For another, it may be a means of living. And for a third, it may be a burden, a source of committing sins. As for the one for whom it is a source of reward, he is the one who keeps his horse for the sake of jihad in Allah's cause. He ties it with a long rope on a pasture or in a garden. So whatever its rope allows it to eat will be regarded as good rewardable deeds for its owner. And if it breaks off its rope and jumps over 1 or 2 hillocks, even its dung will be considered amongst his good deeds. And if it passes by a river and drinks water from it, that will be considered as good deeds for his benefit, even if he has had no intention of watering it. A horse is a shelter for the one who keeps it so that he may earn his living honestly and takes it as a refuge to keep him from following illegal ways of gaining money and does not forget the rights of Allah, that is, paying the zakah and allowing others to use it for Allah's sake. But a horse is a burden and a source of committing sins for him who keeps it out of pride and show off and with the intention of harming the Muslims." The Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked about donkeys. He replied, "Nothing has been revealed to me concerning them except this comprehensive verse which covers everything. So whosoever does good equal to the weight of an atom or a small ant shall see it, and whosoever does evil equal to the weight of an atom or a small ant shall see it." Qur'an, chapter 99, verses 7 and 8. Footnote: The Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked about donkeys, whether their owner gets a reward for taking care of them and using them for Allah's cause. Narrated Anas bin Malik, may Allah be pleased with him. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, reached Khaybar in the early morning, and the people of Khaybar came out with their spades. And when they saw the Prophet, peace be upon him, they said, "Muhammad and his army," peace be upon him, and returned hurriedly to take refuge in the fort. The Prophet, peace be upon him, raised his hands and said, "Allahu Akbar, Allah is the most great. Khaybar is ruined. When we will approach near to a nation, then evil will be the morning of those who had been warned." Narrated Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him. I said, "O Allah's Messenger, I hear many narrations from you, but I forget them." He said, "Spread your covering sheet." I spread my sheet, and he moved both his hands as if scooping something and emptied them in the sheet and said, "Wrap it." I wrapped it round my body, and since then I have never forgotten a single hadith. Narration.